We've got some more hardware to give out, and that is the National League Championship Series Most Valuable Player. That belongs to Tommy Edman.
Tommy, when did you think I might be able to do this for a job?
So I grew up around the game, and I knew I always wanted to be a professional baseball player, and never really knew how realistic that was going to be. I would say it started to kind of click for me beginning of my high school career. We ended up winning the CIF City Championship my sophomore year, and I hit a big home run in that championship game. I started to get offers after that game. So probably around then was when I started to realize that I had a good chance to use baseball to go to college, and then I was able to commit to Stanford and play well at that Division I level. And once I started to succeed there, it made me want to continue to strive to be one of the best in the game. My dad's been a high school coach for about 30 years now. He's still coaching at the same high school that I went to, La Jolla Country Day back in San Diego. He taught me everything I knew about the game growing up. Coached me from age about 8 all the way through my senior year of high school. Took a lot of swings off him in the cage growing up, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist with my swing, so I would definitely have a lot of frustrating hitting sessions. I was trying to learn how to switch hit too. Once I got to that stage, it's really tough to get the left-handed swing to where the right-handed swing is. And there's certain times where the moves that I want to make just weren't happening, So it get frustrating, and a couple of chucked bats, and there were a few times where my dad would say, "All right, we're done for the day," and I would want to keep hitting, but he would just say, "You know what, you're not getting any better from this session." But I really appreciated that because he didn't allow me to continue to build those bad habits. It's kind of just continued to this day where I'll still go back in the off season and take some swings off of him.
How much would you say, hey, because I took school seriously, because I went to Stanford, I'm actually a better baseball player?
Being able to effectively manage your time between baseball and academics, that's a really valuable asset to learn. And I think having that focus in school kind of allowed me to, sometimes take my mind off of baseball. I think if you can get too wrapped up in baseball at a very young age, then it can kind of take up all your mind space, you know what I mean? So I think being able to separate that time out and learn the value of managing your time effectively was really important. And then also the aspect of having a good work ethic and preparation. You're preparing for a test just like you're preparing for a game. So understanding that preparation is the big part and will really help you succeed in whether that's a test or a game.
Fastball, line to center field. Tommy Edman makes a catch. That is going to be caught by a sliding Tommy Edman.
Tommy Edman, what a play. One of the new Dodgers.
It's stopped by Tommy Edman. What a play. Oh, Tommy Edman introducing himself to Dodger fans with a sparkling play at short.
You're incredibly versatile. How difficult is it to prepare that way?
I think it's just about putting in the work, making sure I'm getting all the reps where I need to. I'll be bouncing around from the infield to outfield, so if I feel like I haven't gotten enough reps at a certain position, then I'll make sure I go out there and get some extra work defensively, whether that's jagging fly balls or making a few extra throws from shortstop or second base or making throws on the run. It's all about preparation, and just being ready for whatever situations might arise in the game. Especially at the major league level, there's so many things that are unpredictable that you got to anticipate those and be ready. You can't be surprised.
Anywhere you put him on the diamond, he's making a special play.
So if I'm 14, 15, 16, I'm pretty good. Top whatever. Play on my high school team. I bump into you. What advice would you have for me if I bumped into you? And I said, hey man, I want to be in your shoes one day, and I'm a good baseball player at this point. Going forward, what advice do you have?
I mean, for me, one thing that made me successful was, I think, being able to do a lot of different things on the baseball field. For me, that was hitting, base running, playing defense. So I think just making sure that you're addressing all areas of the game, not just getting locked in on one specific area. When I was in high school and middle school, I didn't really pigeonhole myself as just a shortstop or anything like that. I would still, during practice, like to go run around the outfield and chase after fly balls and kind of just have fun out there and make it a game to see how far I could, how many different balls I could get to. So I think, just considering yourself a ball player rather than just one specific position and one kind of player.